Hi folks, how's everything going? This is Dave with the Bit Journal broadcast. Today I want to talk about a topic that I've been thinking of for quite some time. So, back in the early 2000s, Square and Enix merged together to become the RPG monolith that we now know as Square Enix. But when we look at Square Enix today and what it's become, there's really a lot more of Square games in the conversation than there are Enix games. When we think of the Square or the Squaresoft games, we think of obviously Final Fantasy, Secret of Mana, games along those lines. You tend to think of those projects and the projects that the Square side has been pumping out ever since then, and there's been a lot of them. But when you talk about Enix, usually the only games that are mentioned in the conversation for Enix side is the Dragon Warrior series, and of course the Star Ocean series as well. I mean, not that I have anything against those games. I actually love the Dragon Quest games. As you can see, I've got Dragon Warrior over here, and I've also got 1, 2, and 3 on the Game Boy Color, along with Dragon Quest VIII on the PlayStation 2, and some of the other Dynasty Warriors style games that they released on the PS4 and on the PlayStation Vita as well. But while those are great games and all, there were a ton of great Enix games that were released on the Super Nintendo back in the 90s that just really are not in the conversation anymore. And what I mean by conversation is they're not in the conversation in terms of Square Enix's internal offices. You just don't hear them talking about this at E3 or making any announcements for any kinds of remakes and remasters. Now, personally, I'm a big Secret of Mana fan. I've got every single game in the Mana series, and I just recently picked up the collection of Mana that came out on the Switch as well, and I've got all the physical copies of those Mana games, and I enjoy them, and I'm so glad I could finally play Trials of Mana in English, because I've had it in Japanese for the longest time on the Super Famicom, but I've never had it on the US version, so now we've got a US version that's out, and that's awesome. That being said, though, with Square Enix looking into their back catalog, I think it's about time they start looking into their Enix catalog as well. So, we're always talking about Dragon Quest. We're always talking about Star Ocean. Why isn't Soul Blazer in the conversation? Why isn't Illusion of Gaia in the conversation? Why aren't we talking about ActRaiser, which is freaking amazing? And why aren't we talking about games like Seventh Saga? And even though I don't own it right now in this pile, Terranigma as well, for that matter. So back in the 90s, there was a developer that worked with Enix that was called Quintet. Okay, Quintet made some really awesome top-down action RPGs. Soul Blazer being one of them. This is one of the earlier works on the Super Nintendo. And then some people consider this to be a spiritual successor to Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia. And then after this one came Terranigma. That's the third one in the series that I don't own yet, because it is quite a rare game and quite hard to find, and it's also not in... Well, let me put it this way. It wasn't released in the United States, so I definitely have to import that copy, and maybe one day we'll get it on the channel and we'll take a look at it. But for now, I've got 2 out of 3. And then, of course, we have the incredible ActRaiser. This game was unique for its time. You got to basically play as God, and in that game, you could project your... There were a bunch of demons basically taking over the Earth, and it was becoming inhabitable for humans. So, in order for you to fight off the demons in ActRaiser, as God, you would project your spirit into a warrior statue, and then you would go down onto Earth and you would wipe out all these monsters that were basically, and demons that were inhabiting the area in a side-scrolling type level, similar to Castlevania. But then, once you defeated the side-scrolling levels, then you were in a sim-type game. A lot of people used to liken it to SimCity back in the day because we didn't have as many genres back then as we do now. And this came out during the earlier days of the Super Nintendo. And ActRaiser was definitely one of those earlier games that were on the system that had a little bit of commercialism, a little bit of popularity to them, but not so much to the point where you hear everybody and their mother talking about this one in this day and age. So, yeah, this is definitely an awesome game that's part side-scroller and part God Sim, where you're actually having your humans build up a town and sealing off monsters' chambers and trying to get portions of the lands fertile enough for humans to actually live on them. So that's a great game that we're going to talk about. And then, of course, if you remember earlier this year, I did a review for this little gem of a role-playing game right over here, the 7th Saga. Now, what's cool about 7th Saga, you can go see my review in the tab above. But what's great about 7th Saga is the fact that this RPG had multiple storylines and multiple endings to them, depending on which character you chose to play as. There were a ton of characters to choose from, and they were all searching for like these different gems and whatnot. And what would end up happening is, with some of these characters, your character could team up with some of the other characters, and they could become party members, or you could have strategic partnerships throughout the game. But there were also times where some of these characters simply wouldn't see eye to eye with you, and then you actually have to fight these guys. And fighting these characters, along with many of the monsters in the game, was quite a challenge. Think of it as like a turn-based Dark Souls of its time. It was not a game that held your hand, but it was incredibly fun. And it's yet another role-playing game that's not talked about within this big conversation. So, what I would like to do right now is, I want to show you guys some of these games, and I want you to see what some of these are like, and perhaps why we should be playing these in 2019 or 2020. We should get some remasters of these games because these are classics. They're beautiful games. Some of them are highly underrated, and the reason why we should be playing these is because who wants to see great things like this fade off into existence like many classics do? So I'm calling upon Square Enix to please take a look at their back catalog and consider remaking some of these epic games that are out here. So let's get this all started. Hi folks, and we're back right over here. So I wanted to start off with Soul Blazer. Now, Soul Blazer within itself is an incredible fun early action RPG that was released out on the Super NES. Has a very Zelda-like feel to it, as you're going to see in a little bit. Let's start off a new game. Let's just see what this is like. Give you guys kind of a feel for this. So basically the premise of this game is you play as this warrior, and the Earth has been wiped out completely. And it's your job to find out what plane of existence that the inhabitants are living on, and by defeating monsters, you could bring some of the inhabitants back onto the Earth to try and rebuild the entire planet. So first off, we're gonna have to put my name in over here. So let's do that. Okay, so now I have to go save the world, and I need to find the creatures. So we start off in these rooms over here, and whenever a certain section of the game opens up when you're in these little cross rooms, they'll have like a blue tile, as you can see to the left-hand side. So I'll move over there. Now I need to defeat these enemies. Notice I don't have a weapon yet. So I guess I'm going to have to go over to this treasure chest here and open that up. And I got the Sword of Life, so I guess we can equip it. We can equip this first. So we got our sword now. And using the B button, I could swing it. But if I hold down the R trigger, I can actually hold the blade in a stabbing motion. And that allows the enemy to run into the blade rather than me having to swing it. Or I can let him run and I can combo the attack as well. And as you can see, once you defeat all the enemies, it turns into that green jewel tile, and then you can move into it, and that completes the objective for that title. Looks like it brought somebody forward, so let's talk to this guy. Sorry, I keep pressing the wrong buttons over here. Here we go. So, this gentleman right here is telling me that he used to live up in the sky, just like me, and now he's living on Earth away from the Master. So, now all the creatures have been captured by Death Toll, and they're sealed away in the monster lairs, which are in other dimensions, like I said. It says, just as you have set me free, you must set everyone else free as well. So, even the release of a small tree creature will aid you on your quest. So, it's the small things that ultimately make the circle of life bigger at the end of the day in this game. And that's pretty much what this is about. You go around and you hunt down these monsters, and you're bringing life back to the Earth, and in the process, you're also finding new items. You're building your player life bar up, and you're moving forward into this. So far, this wizard gave me a fireball spell that I could use, so that can definitely come in handy. And I could get more magic by collecting the gems and stuff like that. So he's gonna talk for a bit. Now we've got this guy right over here. That little orb will allow me to shoot fireballs, but I'm not going to use it yet because I'm going to need that. However, we do need to equip the magic, so let's get that equipped. And now let's go back to cross. And as you can see now, a brand new area opened up right here. Now as you can see, we're running around in this village. The village looks really, really empty. You know, it looks like there were buildings here at one time, but a lot of them are gone. The land's been stripped away. But we could go down here. I think it's that flower speaking to me over there. Let's see. Yep. Definitely the flower talking to me right now. So the character has the capability to communicate with different forms of life. So now we're going to try to unlock more forms of life on this planet here. In a sense, these generators, they kind of remind me of Gauntlet a little bit. And man, I'm getting wrecked right now. I gotta stop letting those monsters hit me. So there we go. That opens up a new area. I hit these enemies with 3 hits here. There we go. Another generator. So I defeated the generator, and as you can see, it says I released an old woman. So now there's an old woman in the level that I could speak to, and it also generates her house and everything over here. Now you can't play there yet. They show you what it looks like inside the village, but then it goes right back into the game once you've gotten through that. So let's see if we got anything up here that we could fight first. Okay, nothing at the moment. So we're going to go fight some more things. Actually, this may be a good location to stay in right now with these guys. Oop. There we go. Just got lucky over there. Okay, there we go. Oh, that one unlocked the treasure chest. Let's see. Got a medical herb, so I can definitely use that to increase my life. I'm just choosing not to yet. So I'd like to save that for the more difficult enemies. So now we got to take these guys out. Or maybe I should use that herb. I don't know. Gotta watch out for that flame over there. Watch out for this guy. Ah, I probably should have used that herb, but I didn't. So, when you die, basically, it brings you back to this section over here. Another thing to note, too, is when you're in this cross, you can head over to this orange tile right here. And you can also record your quest over here, so you can save. So we'll continue. And let's go back to the level again. Now the old lady should be here since I'm back in the town now. Let's go talk to her for a second. So there she is. Tells you that her husband was the village chief, and one day he suddenly disappeared along with the other villagers. She wants me to be one of her kids. You know what? Why not? Okay. So you get to use the second floor as your own room now. I guess this is for resting up and whatnot. And then you get this creepy thing over here. There's a chair that's rocking back and forth over here. But there is nobody to be seen. Jeez, I wonder where the village chief could be. So let's go back now. Try to fight our way through the rest of this level. So some of the monster generators are already defeated because we defeated them earlier. Oh, gotta watch out for these guys. Gotta watch out for those blue puddles. You have a tendency to think they're water and they're not. Oh, and I gotta watch out for those things shooting the fireballs also. There we go. Now what that jewel does, I can go over there, and this fairy thing that pops out of here can help me transport back over to the other level, I believe. I gain experience. They asked me if I want to return to the Grass Valley. I'm gonna stay. I'm not gonna go back yet. I'll go back when I'm ready to go. Want to explore the level a little bit more. Just show you guys what this is all about. Take out this flame over here. It keeps trying to kill me. Looks like we got more enemies to fight. There we go. This guy opens up, and it opens up a bridge. So you don't get pieces of the village all the time. Sometimes you just get openings in the next portion of the level as well. Got this guy in the corner. We could use that to our advantage. I just incinerated him with a fireball. Nice. I got hit again. I'm playing horribly today, folks, but yeah, basically, in a nutshell, this is what Soul Blazer is like. You want to go into those levels, defeat those monsters, and basically bring people back to the village to reform the earth as it is. Now, you may not be seeing much right now, but the deeper you get into this game, the more fun things get. The more villagers that you open up, the more houses that you unlock, the more quests and side quests will open up for you to play in the game. Situation like this, for example, you see this massive waterfall. Who knows? Maybe you eventually open up like a bridge or something, and then you can bridge the gap on there and go to other places. But yeah, this is definitely one of the games that should be on Square Enix's list to remake or remaster. So it all starts off with Soul Blazer, and then we got a couple of other we got a few other games that I want to discuss as well. So just hold that thought, folks, while we get on to the next game. Hi, folks, and we're back again. And this right over here is known as the spiritual successor to Soul Blazer, and this is Illusion of Gaia. So, in Illusion of Gaia, you basically play as a child named Will, who finds out that he has magical powers. He has the ability to play a magical flute with certain songs that perform various effects within the game. And by visiting certain statues in the game, he has the capability to transform into 2 different heroes, in addition to gaining new magic spells and new abilities as he goes along within his quest. So let's just move around in this game for now. So this is what one of the save areas looks like, and this is Will himself. If I go to touch her, it will say, it's telling me about the Psycho Dash power that I just recently acquired yesterday when I was playing the game. And that allows you to get through obstacles and whatnot. I'm going to hit don't record for now. But that's usually the person you go to save to. So right now I'm in the town area. Let's see. He said to dedicate the statues where the breath of the spirits can't reach. That is interesting. So this is a part of the quest I'm trying to figure out right now. Looks like I jumped down and talked to her. So I'm going to go to a different town for a bit, just to show you guys what... Oh, that's a Tory village. I guess it's only going to allow me to go there. Will allow me to go to... Ah, here we go. So this will take me to Southtown for now. As you can see, Enix also did a very good job of using the Mode 7 sprite rotation technology back in the day. Here's a town where my character grew up in. You know what? I do not think they're going to allow me to go into any action-y areas until I solve the puzzle that I'm in right now. So let me just take a look into that and we'll try to get that solved up. For starters, I should probably go and speak to Lily for now. I just got a statue recently in the game. Okay, so we're headed up to the mountain peak. Interesting thing about Lily is she has magical capabilities like I do, but not everybody can see the things that we can see in the game. And we just got into the Shadow Tribe right over here. The other thing I forgot to mention too is this game takes some inspiration for its level design from the Incan Empire, and you've probably read about the ancient Incan tribes, empires before there. Let's see what needs to be done here. Oh, so I got 20 seconds to destroy these enemies. Did I get them all? Oh, there's a few more left. So it looks like I'm going to have to try this again. But as you can see, the combat is very similar to Zelda in a sense. So we will try that again. Still didn't get it yet. Gotta keep going until I get this. But one thing I always enjoyed about Enix games, though, is the challenge behind these games. They certainly do not hold your hand in any way, shape, or form. I think I got him this time. Oh no, I didn't. I missed one. Oh boy. Challenging to say the least. Very challenging. Gonna have to just keep doing this until we get it right. Definitely tough on this one, folks. If you don't succeed, try, and try for 20 seconds more. Can I get him? Finally, we got it. Yeah! Woo! So now I've got the second Incan statue that I've been looking for. I got the earlier statue yesterday. That's nice to see that I've gotten statue B. Now we need to figure out a place to put these things. But you can kind of see the similarities combat-wise between this game and Soul Blazer. They kind of use a similar engine, but the graphics in this game are a little bit cleaner, a little bit brighter. This game was made in 1994, where I know Soul Blazer came to the U.S. in 1992. But yeah, this is definitely a fun game to play. It's a lot like Zelda, as you can see. And now we're going to try to go get those Incan statues put together and ready to go. It's really funny, too. He's not using a sword to attack. He's actually using his flute as a weapon. That's interesting. Looks like we got a little slot or a little hole over there. Oh, look who snuck by. If it isn't Kara. Right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use an herb, because we definitely need that right now. Cool. There we go. Let's see. Now we need to find that spot where we're going to put the statues on. One thing that always confused me while playing this game is just the sometimes just the control scheme itself. you keep pressing the A button to attack, and you hold down the R or the L trigger to move items and grab things. So if you ever played, let's say, Golden Sun, for example, and you were using Isaac's ability where he pulls out the hand and uses that to move heavy objects, basically that's what that move would do if there was anything to be moved at this moment in time. You could also use it to grab objects like that, so it comes in handy. Ouch, not good. Oh, but I just got an increase to my defense still, which is awesome. So let's see what else we have here. Oh, more of these caterpillar things. At least they don't have us on a time limit to kill them in this time. There we go. More of these Sandman type characters. Oh boy, losing a lot of life over here. Gonna have to take another one of those herbs. That's the fastest I've defeated one of those guys so far. Well, I could go on to the next portion of the level. I just want to defeat all these monsters. See if there's anything to be gained by it. Oh, that made a bridge down to the bottom of the level, which is nice. Just gained more hit points. Very good. Ooh, found a diamond-shaped block. Don't know exactly what that does yet, but hey, whatever it is, we found it, and I'm sure it's something that's going to be of great use in the future, so that's awesome. Let's try going down here, see what happens. Now at this point, we got to figure out where to place these statues. Oh, I see where the diamond-shaped block goes. That's nice. So we can basically go here, items. Nice. And it built a bridge for us, so we can go out to this portion of the level. That always comes in handy. Let's see what's across first. Oh, a couple of doorways. So let's go check down the ladder first. See what we find down here. Yet another entrance. I'm gonna guess that there's something in there, so let's see what's in there first. That's right, I can move these statues. But I can only move them so far, though. Looks like I'm going to have to go into the other rooms before I can get back to this stuff. So let's try that. No, I don't think I'm in the right spot. Let's head out of here again. Looks like this thing maybe backtracked to earlier. Really interesting. Very strange. This looks like someplace I've been before. It's just a circle. Look at that. Gonna be a bit of a challenge getting through there. Alright, folks, but this has been Illusion of Gaia, so let's move on to the next game, alright? Be with you in a little bit. Alright, folks, so we're back, and this right over here is ActRaiser. Let's start a new game on this guy. Now, of course, they're going to ask me to create a name for myself. So as you can see, like I was saying earlier, you basically play as God. You're up in your temple in the clouds right now. And then you have your advisor, who is this cherub right over here. And the cherub also helps you out when you're in the sim mode, when you're actually building the level out later on. But right now we cannot go down to Earth and do anything yet because we have to save the people from the monsters below. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by actually fighting the monsters. So my little advisor reminds me that if we destroy all the monsters in the land, people will be able to live here again. So I'm going to take my spirit. When I hit yes, I'm going to put that spirit into a statue that's on Earth. And then we're going to go fight some monsters. Got these Extreme Mode 7 close-ups right over here. Ooh, rotation. Statue comes to life. And do you hear that beautiful, wonderful soundtrack playing in the background? I've got news for you, folks. That track right over there is a track from Yuzo Koshiro. Yes, the same Yuzo Koshiro that did music for the Streets of Rage series on the Sega Genesis. So if you're wondering why this music is so awesome, thank Yuzo Koshiro for it. Trick in this game is to be patient. If you're not patient, you'll definitely get hit like I was right there. You know, I remember back in the day when my friend first got this game. I was a Genesis guy. I didn't own a Super Nintendo back in the day, but I had a lot of friends who did, so we all got to try out each other's games and whatnot. And I remember when he first got ActRaiser, and we were all in the room just playing this and trying it out, and just being amazed at how cool the characters and the monsters were, how diverse the gameplay was. It definitely was something different for the time, something we've never seen on the original NES. It's certainly something we did not see on the Genesis or the Super Nintendo, respectively. This game is kind of a unique thing on its own. Oh boy. I gotta start being a little more patient. Wait for that tree to come back. There we go. The reason why we want to be patient is because, as you can see right over here, we got a statue. And I can get some life out of that. And now we got to go fight that boss. I know he's coming up soon. Here he is. And you always move to the side and just watch. Get in as many strikes as you can before he charges up. And I just got it in before he took away my 3 other life bars, so that's great. So as you can see, you clear part of the lands, and now we can go into our building sim phase. So he points his swords towards the heavens, and goes back to being a statue, and heads right back up into the clouds. And now we're in our sim building portion of the game. You start by creating a couple of Earth people to go live down on the land. And our little cherub will tell us that this could become a land that people could live in peace. But we have to help the people revolt against the rest of the monsters on here and seal all of the monster chambers before we can get that going. So as you can see, your townspeople will want to talk to you. You'll see this. So Dave, I know it's unexpected, but our people of Fillmore have something to tell you. So they kneel down to you and they're talking to you. Let's see, they're having a difficult time building because there's many bushes. And they don't have any supplies at the moment to build anything. So what I need to do, as God basically is, I need to perform miracles. And I could use lightning to destroy bushes and whatnot. Also, those little bats, as the angel, I could use my arrows to destroy the bats and keep them from taking any of the townspeople. But in the meantime, the town must be built. So let's perform a few more miracles here. And now we should direct the people to build. We'll send them right over here to go and seal this. And seal this monster lair. And we'll fight the monsters to protect the people for now. Until the monster lair is sealed. Watch out for those dragons also, they're really destructive to your citizens. Oh, now they can go hunting as well. That's awesome. Now they're starting to seal off the monster lair. Let me see, I believe I can... There we go, we got the gift of a bomb. We can use that. So it looks like we gotta defeat this monster thing as well, so let's redirect the building. Gotta be careful, because while all this is going on, too, the other monsters are trying to destroy stuff on your end. Oh, it looks like there's some fires over here. That's not cool. They're killing my people. That's not good. Pretty soon they'll seal up that other monster lair, which definitely needs to happen. Gotta use some lightning to take these trees out. Oh, these dragons are trying to destroy some of the houses again. It's this mix of sim and action that really makes ActRaiser a unique game, very unique experience on the Super Nintendo. Certainly a game I would suggest to anybody who enjoys playing something different. People who like platformers, people who like sim games. You got a little bit of both over here. Looks like there's a big rock somewhere. Let's find out where that rock is. I'm going to guess that this is the rock they're referring to. Looks like we got a few more places to build in. Well, it looks like my level's increased, so that's definitely nice. Alright, so now we're going to try to seal another one of these monstrous chambers right over here. And try to get the final chamber sealed so we can go get into the side-scrolling level and fight the boss. So now we can build bridges as well. There we go. Looks like they're starting to go fishing now, too. That's cool. Well, these dragons are just annihilating my, population over here. Alright, we got one more. Alright, so they sealed off the last monster's lair. So at this point, I could return back to the Sky Palace. I can go and select the magic, because now I have a magic to select, so we'll select this magical fire. And we're going to go fight some monsters in the side-scrolling level. And this is what you do to basically finish off a level in ActRaiser. So it starts off by playing the first side-scrolling level, then you go into the sim portion, and then you defeat the next side-scrolling level, and then you move on to the next town. Let's just have a quick look at this. Got wrecked pretty bad by those spikes. That's how that fire spell works. Oh, got hit. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now for ActRaiser. So then we'll take one more quick look at 7th Saga. Like I said, it's a game that I reviewed going back earlier this year. So if you want to find out more about the game, I suggest you go check out that review. But let's go take a look at it really quick before we close out for today. All right, folks, we're back again. And here we are with the 7th Saga. So let's get this all fired up and started. So as you can see, I have my main character in the game. It's very early. The characters have already grabbed the gems. But I want to just show you guys really quick what I love about this game. So, like I said, you could talk to the townsfolk, and depending on what character you choose, you're going to have a different ending based on whatever character you selected. So, my character specifically is a warrior. You know, he likes to use weapons and whatnot. Also, let me check my hit points. Okay, my hit points seem alright. I'm at 25 right now. And there's also other characters like warlocks and robots and all other kinds of crazy things in this game. But I'm going to move around. As you can see, when you hit an enemy, it goes into this Mode 7 style spin-off. And then when I want to attack the enemies, simply hit the A button. And you can actually see the attacks in third person, which is really cool. Has some similarities with Phantasy Star 2 and Phantasy Star 4 in the way they did the combat on this. And it's one of the many reasons why I like this game. Also, the system does not baby you. This game will wreck you if you let it. Oh, look at that. Gained another level too. Awesome. Alright, to defeat another guy. I think the enemies may start getting a little bit harder, or it could be wrong. Gotta watch out. I think this enemy could paralyze you if I'm not careful. Luckily, we were able to take him out, though, so we're good. So basically, guys, as traditional as this RPG is, what makes it very non-traditional is the way the story is structured. Beginning of the game, you pick one of, I think there's like 8 characters or something like that, and you'll have these stones, and you got to try to get all the rest of the stones to try and get the ultimate power. And it's definitely an interesting approach to the game. Creates you some interesting teams as well. So right now I'm in a dungeon. Monsters in dungeons tend to be a lot harder than the ones that are outside. Let's see just how difficult these are. These guys definitely want to cast fire at them. If you try to just attack them outright, they will wreck you really fast. So I gotta hit up another enemy again. Alright. Defeated that guy. And the hits keep on coming. And he just stole all my magic from me. Luckily I defeated him. I don't know how much longer I can keep going with this. Let me see if I have any items on me. If not, I'm probably going to die. Okay, I do got an herb I could use, so that'll heal some hit points. But it's certainly another one of these crazy things. Alright, awesome. Oh man, he just stepped back and dodged that, and he defeated me. So folks, this right here has been various Enix games, should I say, that Square Enix should be taking a look at. Maybe giving us remakes or remasters of these classics. It would definitely be nice to see these in the modern age. See what newer developers can do with these classic formulas. So if you got this far, I want to thank you for watching my video. Please give it a like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you watched. And if you're new to the channel, please definitely hit that notification bell and subscribe to the channel as well, alright? Okay, folks, you have a great one. Take care now, and I'll talk to you later. Peace! Have a great one. Bye-bye now.